It's only me and you. Oh,
we're taking it easy. 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 Taking it easy. We're taking it, yeah, we're taking it, we're taking it easy. We're taking it, yeah, we're taking it, we're taking it easy. Look at us, sitting here, waiting for the sun to disappear. There's nothing like the summer breeze to take the load off you and me. We survived the madness, we made it through. Now, girl, it's only me and you. It's only me and you. We're taking it easy. 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 We'll take it easy on ourselves. Don't gotta do nothing for nobody else. We'll give it time and slow it down. Even the city says she's chilling out. The tide is high, our bodies glow. We're dazzled by the sun while we're laying low. We're taking it easy. We're taking it easy. We're taking it easy. We're taking it easy. We're taking it easy.
look at us, chilling here, waiting for the sun to disappear. There's nothing like breathing in, taking the moment as it begins. The tide is high, the ocean blue. Now, boy, there's only me and you. It's only me and you. Oh,
We're taking it easy. 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 Taking it easy. We're taking it, yeah, we're taking it, we're taking taking it easy. We taking it, yeah, we taking it. We taking it easy.
Old Bill Shakespeare once asked, "What's in a name?" Well, here at Domain.com, we think a lot, a whole lot. Your name is your identity, who you choose to be or not to be. That's why we made it so easy for you to get your name online at Domain.com. And right now, you can get 20% off Domain.com's already affordable domain names and web hosting services by using coupon code Spotify at checkout. It all starts with a great domain. Get yours at Domain.com.
The Home Depot has a new paint for people who want to spend less time painting, which is pretty much everyone. New timeless paint from PPG, starting at only $33.98 a gallon. It's a brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. Formulated for one-coat coverage, it's the toughest, most durable paint you can buy. And you can only buy it here. New PPG timeless paint, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only. See store for details.
Sending a Constant Contact email will get great results for your business. That's a pretty big deal. Sure, it's not as big a deal as the birth of your first child, but it's probably better than talking your way out of a speeding ticket. And it's definitely better than spelling the word definitely right on the first try. And the results you see from those emails are real. More traffic to your site, more people to your door, and ultimately, a bigger bottom line. Put the power of email to work for your business with a free trial at ConstantContact.com. Constant Contact Email Marketing. Powerful stuff.
Look at us, sitting here, waiting for the sun to disappear.
Alrighty. So, I was debating whether or not to do microphone or not, but I figured since I'm going to be starting with some detailing and some Inktober stuff, that it wouldn't hurt anybody. So, what I'm actually... I just realized this thing that I want to draw is not... I don't want to do it in my sketchbook here. But maybe I do. But it's not as important for it to be super-de-duper good. Because I'm going to end up scaling it and drawing it on the glass at my office. Had a little bit of a challenge from... Turn my music down a little bit. There we go. So I had a challenge to do a detail, and it really wasn't much of a challenge, but it was actually more of a challenge getting them to tell me what they wanted, because they didn't understand what they wanted. But they want a detail. They want to see a detail, which is they want to see a flashing detail, and that detail looks a little something like this. And I'm just going to kind of sketch it out here. I'm going to get some lines for me to use. Here we go, our cap, and then we've got a sheathing here. We've got stud, brick, and this is a through wall flashing. He said complicated, but there's really nothing complicated about flashing unless you don't understand it. in which case it can be fairly complicated, I guess. And essentially what happens here is this right here comes through. Let's see. I'm actually going to make this CMU instead of stud. Make it a little bit cleaner. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Straight on down to the other side. Let's see. I think I've got somebody watching. Who's watching? Stegosaurus Squad. Thanks for watching, man. And I can't. Then this flashing actually comes down and bends. So the challenge was 3-way flashing. And I was like, well, you're gonna have to be more specific than that, because 3-way could mean multiple things when it comes to flashing. It could be the actual description of how the metal is bent, or you could mean 3-part. I don't think he really understood that. This could be built up, but I like ballast roofing, so. Can't strip. Sheathing. Probably some insulation under there somewhere. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Oh, hush, dog. So I'm just gonna kind of sketch this out to make sure that I've got a good understanding here. This is not to a good scale at all. So then we've got our underlayment belt that actually comes all the way up. And then we've got this flashing, which comes down and couples with another piece of flashing, which sits on top like that. And then we've got our gravel. And so the trick here is going to be, he actually wants it in ISO, which is an axonometric drawing with equal projection angles at the base. And he wants it layer peeled. So, I mean, it's going to be, I'm probably going to put this down here. What's with, hold on a second. What's with the focusing here? It's almost like there's something on the lens. Not sure what's up with that. Huh. Well, I'm not sure what's up with that. Looks a little blurry. It might just because I'm zoomed way in. But anyway, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to take this and put it here. And then, let's see, I'll do my roof layer right here. I can't strip right there. So this is where it gets a little difficult. Through wall flashing. Should probably put my, there's the, I'll do roof sheathing right there. And my can't strip can also go like that. Wow. This is kind of horrible, but we'll survive. We shall make it through. Okay. I'm actually probably going to peel that cap back a little bit as well. This would be my belt strip coming up. So I'm just going to draw it on the same plane right now. And then when I ink it, I'm going to peel those layers back. So the three-way is actually this piece right here. Is three-way. And then it's actually a three-part counter flashing system that I'm detailing here. Why is that so blurry? Is it because I'm zoomed in so much? I don't know. Hold on a second. I'm going to try to fix this. I can't fix it. I want to see if I can make this a little bit smaller. Did that help any at all? I don't think it did. And then maybe that, there we go. That seems a little bit better. Okay. And if you hear the music in the background, yes, I am listening to the same song over and over and over again. I can't get it out of my head, and this is how I get songs out of my head. I listen to them until I can't stand them. Okay. So the roof sheathing definitely comes all the way back. And then I think we'll peel the felt back a little bit. And we'll show the CMU back to a certain point. Where do I want to start this cap at? Actually, it's the flashing that I want to start at a certain point here. I think that piece of CMU will go all the way over to it. think I have a red Sharpie somewhere. I'll be right back. All right. I don't have a fine tip red Sharpie, but I do have a blue Sharpie here, or fine tip. So just making sure I get everything here. Brick. CMU backing. This is a three-way, 3 flashing, stone cap, and then we've got this is metal counter flashing. Base flashing. Roof belts. Ballast. Roof sheathing. Can't strip. I don't want to call out the bond beam because I don't really want to focus on the structure. This is more about the flashing. So here we go. I can do brick CMU and stone cap on this side, and I want to do all the flashing stuff on this side. Flashing and roof stuff. So there we go. 3-way. Through wall. Flashing. Well, hello there, Dutch. This is this guy right here. Metal counter flashing. Roof belts. Base. Flashing. Roof. Sheathing. I didn't really leave room for ballast. I don't know how I'm going to label that. But I am going to do, so we're going to do stone cap. Brick. Facade. CMU. Can't strip. Suppose I can get it in here somewhere. Probably hard to read. That's okay. Ballast. I have no idea. Like, if I want to shade this, I feel like I want to give it maybe just a little bit of texture. Maybe poche the brick a little bit. Help it read in section. I do need to go over and line the line weights a little bit. Probably should have done this with a different pen. That's okay. We'll live. For the wood. Man, I wish I knew why it was so blurry. It just looks blurry. I don't know why. Can I just close that? So I'll probably be streaming for about another hour or so. I'm gonna try to finish up some construction documents for a house. But I got challenged by a friend who I guess maybe thought I couldn't do it. Or maybe he's just using friendship as a way to gain a better understanding of something instead of researching it. I don't know. One of those. What do you think, Alex, if you're watching? I don't think he is watching. All right. Man, that is just so blurry. Like, it's not just my screen, it's blurry, right? Focus. I guess that's as focused as it gets. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, guys. Is it just my equipment? My equipment sucks. Alright, I'm gonna go scan this real quick, and then I'll be right back.
There's a season for everything, and right now, it's save up to 30% on appliances season at the Home Depot, with special buys on innovative appliances that do more. Like a GE high-efficiency washer and electric dryer. Your clothes get cleaner without the damage, and they're just $586 each. Save $425 on the pair. Savings are in season with up to 30% off appliances at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. While supplies last, U.S. only. Gas dryer extra. See store for details.
We interrupt your broadcast to bring you this, a phenomenon from Wendy's that can only be described as a giant junior bacon cheeseburger. A delicious anomaly doubling the size and taste of Wendy's iconic junior bacon cheeseburger. Double the bacon, double the cheese, and good heavens, double the fresh, never frozen beef. And what's this? A Wendy's giant junior bacon cheeseburger with nuggets, fries, and a drink for just $5. Run to your nearest Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time. Meal includes small fries and a drink. Not valid in Alaska and Hawaii. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
When you're hiring, you want qualified candidates fast, and it can be hard to know where to find them. More than 3 million businesses use Indeed.com, the world's #1 job site. Whether you need entry-level or highly skilled employees, Indeed helps you find great talent and make the right hire. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/stream. That's Indeed.com/stream. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
So, fire back. And I am in my weekend attire, if you couldn't tell. Finish getting everything set up here. Oh, I need to put that back on. Oops. Oh well. Hopefully it's focused. Is it focused? Okay. Alright. 15. Man. 6, 7, 8, 9. Still got 5 to catch up. Dutch, did you ever get that FBX file open? Look at my mouse, it's struggling. Didn't label this or anything. That's okay. Let's save this. Should have been felt and then base flashing. That's okay. Okay. Oops. Come on. Come on, internet, don't be slow. There we go. I need to post this one more place, but I can't ever remember where it's supposed to go. Here we go. Oh yeah, and then that one. And now we're working. So I think I had finished up this reflected ceiling plan. That helps. I don't know if this should be a separate space, or if this wall needs to come up to there, or even higher, like there. And then maybe this actually does a little hingaroo here. That's a technical term, by the way. Bring this out about 10 inches. Oh my goodness. That's kind of weird. These not... That's 7 feet. 7'6". What's up, puppy? There we go. Okay. So I'm thinking that this is what happens here. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Just curious if this ended up being 8.6 instead. There we go. Okay, I think that works. So those little details. I don't remember them wanting to remove that shower, but for some reason it disappeared. What happened here? Yeah, this is what happened. Holy moly. That's no bueno. Wow, that messes up a lot of stuff. Let's see if we can't just move this. And I want to say that I already got this working. Even if it's not perfectly aligned. Unless what about now? Boom. Sometimes it's like I actually know what I'm doing around here. Sometimes. Only sometimes. Welcome back, Dutch. Did you ever get that FBX file working? Or do we need to get you a DAE file? It's not going to have materials, but you're going to do your own materials anyway, so it'll have the geometry. Crashes every time. That sounds like me working on a project. Have you upgraded your Pentium 486 recently? Have you flashed your BIOS? Do you have your keyboard plugged into the PS1 port? I'm just going through the typical tech support script. So don't blame me. That's not right. Hey. So what are... I was just looking at a few of the updates that they've made to Revit and the latest expansion pack, I guess is the best way to put it. And they've finally caught up to some requests that people like me have made on interface changes 4 years ago. And I'm guessing what's happened is that their user base has finally become intelligent enough in how to use the software that they're more worried about usability and less about functionality. So we've gotten past things like, oh, we need to have pretty text in our documents, so we're adding a full-blown word editor, word processor in Revit, and more about the fact that when you're trying to do things like grab these bars, you accidentally select things. You know? And it was a simple change. And they finally did it. So I'm kind of excited about it. Also, this was kind of cool. I don't think I mentioned this. So one of the things that I started doing is a while back I started streaming on Watch Me Work because I got invited by somebody to do it, and I thought it was kind of cool. For some reason, I'm not showing up as somebody who's streaming live, which is, I guess I'm not quite on featured yet. But it's more for artists, so I think I'm the only architect streaming on this service right now. But last month, apparently I won the competition to, they do a competition, so I got to choose between a camera, which I actually have that camera, microphone, which I have that microphone, but it had a pop filter and stand, which would be kind of cool because I think it would help my audio a little bit, or a digitizer. No, I don't have a digitizer. I have my Surface, But the digitizer would be pretty cool, I think, because it would help my kids get into art a little bit if we don't have to waste so much paper and pens and all that stuff. So I opted for the digitizer, and I'm hoping that maybe I can win again and get that pop filter and stand, because that'd be a pretty cool upgrade for my streaming, I think. So I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't even know I was in a competition. And I got an email from the guy who invited me. He's like, congratulations on winning our competition. And I honestly first read it and I was like, oh, it's one of those scam emails, but it's from somebody who I actually know. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. So I'm glad I responded. So I've got a digitizer on the way, which would be pretty cool, because then maybe I can figure out a way to do some more complicated or complex art projects as well. And I am all about the arts, the arts, the arts. Trying to get more into the arts so that I can find time to create things like this that I used to create, which is a picture of a pencil drawing that I did. I don't know if I can, let's see if you can see that or not. So that's a pencil drawing, and it's all you can see really is the reflections of everything. That's pencil art that I did a long time ago, and I'd like to get back into doing more things like that. That one took a long time. Yeah. Anyway. But I guess technically you could say I am still doing some pretty complicated art. At least I view it that way a lot of times. I feel like this is just out there in the middle of nowhere. Maybe that doesn't go there. Okay. Reflected ceiling plan. I think it's time to address the elephant in the room, which is this stairwell. I need to finish designing this, because I like these, but I don't think I like them right there. Maybe they go further up. What happens if I put them at that height? I put them at that height. The only people who see them are the people like me who look up in every single building that they're in. So I think, like any good designer, what I'm doing here is forcing people to be observant of their surroundings in order to get the most out of their experience in a building. I don't think I want that one there. Maybe I do. Maybe I want that right there. And then I just bring this one over here. Yeah, I think that works. What does that look like in here? It looks beautiful. Okay. So our other office has decided that we're not going to use model elements for electrical, but that means that we can't see where that wall sconce is going. And I think we need to see where that wall sconce is going. I also need one over here. I think that's what that is. I'm going to put, here's the problem. This is, come on now, 6 feet tall. I guess that's all right. Most people aren't 6 feet tall, I guess. also like the idea of these windows because there's a sliding bookshelf here that is the door. So you get these windows that look into the staircase, but you don't know how to get there unless you know about these bookshelf. Maybe these are opaque. I wonder if this is supposed to be guardrail height. Surely not. This project is a lake house, custom lake house. Thanks for joining us, by the way. Eel Slapper. I like it. Hopefully you have not been slapped back by an eel. I heard that can be painful. This is a lake house project. It's a custom house. And it's about 8,000 square feet conditioned space. But it scales, it looks pretty big. It looks bigger than the actual square footage is. So you can kind of see how it works. It's right on the lake, right here. You got boat slip here, sailboat slip. They have jet ski ramps. I can't remember if they're going to put them here or here, but that's not in our scope. We just kind of tell them that they're going to have those. So we're trying to finish up the documents for construction here, and I'm kind of just going through and making sure that everything's been touched, everything's designed, everything's been considered. It's going to be, I think this is going to be a good addition to the portfolio. This is a nice little project. So what I was doing here was just kind of figuring out how this stairwell works. We used to have this stairwell right up against this wall here, and so the bookshelf was here in the kitchen, and it slid open to go into the wine cellar. There's a wine cellar under the stairs here. There's our little, we have a wine chiller, but I imagine it's going to be a lot more involved than that. And we had to move it because the designer didn't like the fact that this roof was sloping back into the stairwell. So the first thing I did was I turned it long ways here, and he still didn't like that we weren't able to solve this. So I moved it out, and it created some pretty nice little spaces. We've got little niche here in the porch, which I think is kind of cool. You can put like a swing back there. It makes it a little private area in the front where you can still come out and enjoy the evenings, hang out outside. We can also put landscaping back there, so we can cut the hardscaping back. Flat work. We can cut the flat work back and put, maybe this fountain moves over there. I don't know. They'll kind of figure that out later on. But yeah, it's been fun working on it. Been some good design challenges. And we're getting there. We're almost there. Wondering if there should be a window up there too. I'm thinking there should definitely be some windows on this other side here. Second floor. Second floor, 9 3/4. No, I'm thinking that's going to go to the head height here. 3/4. Because one of the reasons I hate reviewing construction sets is because I always find stuff. This is also the reason I never graduated college, because I never finished projects because I kept finding things that needed to be fixed. Gift and a curse. Gift and a curse. All right. I know, and my problem is that I have a really hard time with not accepting perfection. And it gets me into trouble. So what I've been trying to do recently is just remind myself there's always a next project. And jot down those things that ended up not being perfect. Like this right here, I might just leave that and let the masons resolve that. Or maybe make this a little bit more proportional here. Or maybe I don't and actually fix it. This is actually going to be a 3/6. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to put emphasis on that middle one there. See, same thing over here. And the thing that goes through my mind is it's just such a quick fix. Why not just fix it? Right? I think someone got rid of my quarter foil up here. They're quick fixes. But the problem is that when you've got 100 quick fixes, it turns into a lot of work. I don't remember this window being here. Okay, it's there. Those are not tagged because they're tagged in a different view. Those are tagged in a different view. This I want lined up here. And I'm not even going to label it, because that's going to be something that I think the owner is going to get rid of. So it's just going to be me saying, hey, I think this should be here. And I'll let you decide whether or not you want to know more information about it. If you do, you can ask me, and I'll tell you what it is. All right, so I think now what I need to do... Oh, piece of crap. Okay, no, I do have that. It needs to be renamed to first floor electrical plan. I like that song. You guys listen to this. Okay, so basically what I need to do now is sync this drawing with this drawing. These different scales. These were all checked by Carl Gibson. Elevations, let's see. Pretty much all of these were drawn by me. Except for, I want to give Courtney credit for those. Those. By maybe. Okay. Alright, I'm going to start up here. We don't need this on the electrical plan. One of the things that I really wish they would do in Revit is give us a view sync option so that two floor plan views I could sync together and pan around, and this one would move and match it. That would be pretty sweet. Put this over here. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Just gonna put a note out here for this. Provide TV power and bed. The board. What's the thing at the end of the bed called? Where the TV pops up. What? Oh my goodness. Yes. It's called a lift cabinet. Foot of the bed lift cabinet is what we're going to call it. I have to remember how to work. Okay, provide TV and power in foot of bed lift cabinet. There we go. Someone's gonna look at that and be like, what? Oh, apparently I'm not photosensitive. Alright. That's good. That's good. Over here to the guest room. I think that's all okay. It's probably not lined up, but I'm okay with that. I've got one right there. This definitely needs to go here. Oop. What is all this? What are you using to remove it? If you can't get it open. Are you able to open it and it's just crashing once you have it opened? What was it, Pepper? Man, I remember. That is probably because of Autodesk materials. So Autodesk has a material set called architectural materials or building materials or something like that. And all those, the FBX actually carries materials over from Revit. And I bet it's having a problem with that. Yeah. So you've removed all materials and it's still doing it? What was that one? That goes to the fan? I don't know if I like the fan switch being all the way. I am an architect, and I do CAD. Well, I do construction drawings. I don't do CAD, unless you're talking about CAD like computer-aided design. In that case, I do CAD. But if you're talking about AutoCAD, we can't be friends if you're talking about AutoCAD. I know those are strong words. I'm gonna go back and look at how this was set up before. What? I forgot about that. Oh, that's just to an office, though. Okay. Okay, this will help. Actually, get a little bit more. Okay. I'm trying to figure out is there's a random three-way switch sitting here, and I'm not sure what that's supposed to go to. Okay. That is supposed to go here. I really don't like the way we do electrical drawings. I'm going to change this to a four-way. Get rid of this and circuit the rest of these bad boys to make this the three-way. That's nice and clean. There we go. This seems really silly to me right here. Because this got really small. Maybe this niche goes away? And this opening... I'm thinking that might be what I'm about to do here. That makes a lot more sense. Makes a lot more sense. Right. See, this is what I'm talking about. Trying to finish these documents, and I'm sitting here still designing things. Get some junk up. Let's get rid of that. Whoa. Apparently that wall was dimensionally tied to that. Designing does end when you give the keys to the person who's going to live there. At least it ends for the person who is designing. It probably begins for the person who's living there. Okay, take this down. It's not room bounding? There, it is now. Should probably get rid of all these align and now I'm wondering if this needs to come down. No, I like this better. You need to make the outside walls again. What's wrong with the outside walls? I'm just curious, what does the triangulation look like on that model? Can you post a screenshot of that? Because I know that exporting from Revit is ugly in terms of geometry. It exported all the parts, like all the different layers of the walls. What's this? Yeah, please do. I'm curious about this. I think that's a little bit better. Well, yeah, it's because those are all different walls. I thought you meant it was exporting each layer of the wall as individual sheets. I am surprised, though, that, I mean, those should be the same material, though, on the outside. But you're saying it's all different geometry. So you don't think you couldn't get the texture to wrap if you did it this way? It wouldn't be seamless? Is that what you're saying? Now I'm curious. Because I don't think Lumion handles it that way in the DAE file. You might be better off with that DAE file. You want me to send you that before you get down and dirty with the So here is that same area of the project. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the X and Y position of the texture, and let's see if it puts that split that you just showed me right here, right? So let's see, materials here. See, it moves seamlessly. So I think maybe the DAE file might be better for you, right? I'm seeing that right, aren't I? Wouldn't there be like a split right there in the seam if the DAE file were handling it like this? Because that's what you're saying 3D Studio is doing, is that if you were to put a texture on those surfaces with the same material, that it would not tile correctly right there and you would get a joint. Yeah, no, I understand that. And that's just from the nature of how Revit models. In architecture and documentation, that has to be separate masses. in order to calculate those and the materials that go into them, to each individual wall. Because if you go by constructin, let's try construction. If you go by how things are actually built, they don't extrude everything up at the same time. You know how this works. You have to stick frame each wall, and you have to know how much material is in each wall. So I don't know. Tell you what, we'll do this. I'm pretty sure that this is the latest DAE file. Let me send you. Oh, it doesn't need to be one wall. You just want it to be one wall for your workflow. What am I looking for here? Can you use a DAE file? A collada file? If you modeled it in 3D Studio, you would make it one mesh, but then you wouldn't be able to document it because you modeled it in 3D Studio. 3D Studio DAE import. I'm just checking to see. So how to import DAE file to Revit or 3D Studio Max. It's a collada file. Import DAE into SketchUp and export a DWG or IFC. Okay, so you cannot import a collada file into 3D Studio. Oh. This was in 2017. Well, I mean, that speaks volumes about Autodesk. Once again, not supporting a massively popular file format. What about SAT files? I can export a DWG. I can also export an IFC. All right. I'll let you go with it. Here, I'll tell you what. There's the DAE file in case you want to try to do something with it. I think you'll find that the massing is a little bit simpler. And if you can get it to convert somehow, that might work. Kind of stinks that in an effort to make 3D Studio more compatible with Revit, that they've closed it out from other file formats. That really kind of stinks. I also wonder, SketchUp, do I have SketchUp installed? So I can import a collada file into SketchUp. But the question is what can I export as? 3D model. I can export as a collada file from SketchUp. Maybe that's why 3D Studio doesn't support collada files. Wide belt that you don't wear anymore. Nope. I think this helped a little bit. This is still kind of a funky haul, but it gave a little bit more importance to the owner's bedroom. It gives them a nice little foyer area here. I think that helps. This is not mentioned for some reason. Just gonna go 3 feet off of that. It takes forever for it to load on my computer too, but that is more because the network setup here at this office is horrendous. This whole model, if I loaded it from local SSD drive, would probably take about 10 seconds to load. Alright. Back to what I was actually working on here. Narrow this up a little bit. Make it feel more like a hallway here.
Includes clearing out furniture. With no hidden more.
Gotta love Revit. I mean, like, I don't even know how that happens. Actually, I do know how that happens. The way this happens is that somebody got lazy when they wrote the exporter. It's just... I don't know, man. There are some, if you want to look them up, there are some really good workflow write-ups to go from Revit to 3D Studio that you could look at if you wanted to. This feels like it makes a lot more sense now. That's a little silly. Huh. Oh, those aren't the meshes that came out of Revit. I thought you were showing me the triangulation in the faces. You converted this. See, I thought, like right there, that looks like. Oh, this is the DAE file. Oh, you got it in. You were just able to import it? Huh. Okay. Well, there you go. I hope it had more than just the walls in it. Good. Yeah, I think the DAE is the way to go then. Yeah, I knew there was a reason that I liked Lumion better than 3D Studio. I'm actually gonna no, I'm not. I think that one actually counts, if I recall correctly. But they've got one there anyway, so I'm just gonna leave that there. Feet, so I can go another 7 feet. Six feet. 6 feet. Close. Three, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is gonna have to be really close to over here. Let's put one here also. This is looking like it might be a little too far away. 8, 5, yep. That's better. That 3, just enough. 6, 5, we're good. What's up, Kaduki? There's Stegosaurus Squad. I was wondering if he was going to show up. Yeah? How was your competition? They had something going on at one of the local high schools here, but I didn't get to stop and watch. I think I'm gonna move this around a little bit. So it's not quite as confusing. Whoa. Well, that's cool that you got first. Competition's competition, man. I feel like I'm missing something here. I've got too many lines. There's 1, 2, 3. That was supposed to go to that fan. Oh, that's the other side there. So one went to toe lighting. Ah, there we go. There we go. That'll read a little bit better now. Let's run history. It's always fun to see. Let's see. And you're a saxophone, right? A pretty good sized band. Is this at home, or is this during competition? I'll have to take a look at that in a little bit. Thanks for sharing. Pretty awesome of you. Alright, so I've got about another hour on the stream. Let's see. Oh, you just told me that. And for some reason I couldn't remember. Alright, all this I think is good. And I think this upper half is good. I think we're all synced. Everything looks a-okay. Oh, you guys have a varsity and a junior varsity marching band? That's insane. Guess that's what I get for going to a small school. Uh-oh. So this is one thing, I don't like drawing detail lines when I can use the line work tool. Because things like this happen where I've got this line which is supposed to indicate the ceiling there, which is now changed. So one way you can do this is you can change your underlay to look up, unbounded, and now we can see this here, and then we can use the line work tool with overhead selected. We can just trace this ceiling here and then turn off underlay. So now we can see the actual shape of that ceiling, which is nice. Do we need outlets out here? I feel like maybe we need an outlet out here. Maybe like right here. Nose will stop itching. Ooh. Okay. I have no clue what this is. I think that's where the bathroom fan used to be. TV, a fireplace. Yeah, the one that I just placed. This one out here. Or are you talking about one of these outlets in here? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. But yes, you're correct. Outdoor should be waterproof or weatherproof. To actually be weatherproof, and it should also be on a GFI circuit. Or sorry, it should be a GFI outlet. It doesn't necessarily need to be on a GFI circuit. Although it probably will be circuited on its own line. So much going on in this drawing. So irritating. Goes there, that goes there, that's fine. Although so do you circuit all your outdoor outlets on the same circuit, on the same fuse? Okay, so maybe let me rephrase that. Yeah, that's a good point. Do you circuit your outdoor outlets on separate circuits from interior outlets? So for instance, garage is a bad example, but I'm going to use it anyway, except there's no outlets out here. So would you put this outlet on a different circuit from all the other outlets that are in this area? On a separate fuse? Or would you try to put as many of the outdoor outlets on one circuit as possible? Why do I have two right here? That's a little weird. That's the way it was before? It's not. I don't know why I've got 2 right there. So I'm going behind a new hire who is very green in terms of not a lot of experience in building construction, so I'm having to find a bunch of these things that shouldn't exist. Which is okay, it's a learning process. Normally, when I say green, I'm not talking about environmentally savvy. I'm talking about green as in the color of your face if you're new to sailing. Oh, speaking of green and sailing, okay. You've got to check out this sailboat. It is insane. Yeah, pretty new, fresh out of school. This is her first real architectural job, so lots of redlining, lots of following up behind and making sure everything looks okay, checking her work pretty closely, but she's picking things up so quick. I'm actually really impressed. She's picking things up so fast. But I think she's going to be a great addition to the team, and but it's funny to find things like you got 2 outlets sitting right next to each other like that. Woo. Yeah, that one felt good. Anyway, that link that I just posted, this boat, okay, this sailing vessel, tall ship, I guess maybe you can call it, is insane. And they've put solar and propeller regenerative power strategies in it. Kaduki might be interested in that as well from an electrical standpoint. But they're predicting that they'll be able to make transatlantic crossings with that ship using 0 fuel, because they'll be able to use the propeller and the solar to capture energy to recharge batteries, and then I think that maybe that means they have an electric motor that they use to motor when there's not enough wind. They also say that boat can reach up to 30 knots in speed, which is just ridiculous. I need to figure out a way to tell them that we need to supply power up here. I think the way to do that look, there's a kin light out here floating in the middle of nowhere. Really? Not interested in electric boats? I mean, it's an electric boat that can cross the Atlantic. It's a vessel in water that runs on electricity. How can that not be fascinating to an electrical engineer? Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm trying to figure out how to get this cabana on the sheet, because it's because you're an electrical engineer that you hate boats, because they're surrounded in water all the time. I know this sounds weird, but I'm craving some hot chocolate. I want to go. It's a Dutch boot. It is. Is it Dutch? I thought it was. Huh. Maybe it is. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go. Yeah, those Model 3s. Man, I have never wanted a Tesla as bad as I did after watching that Model 3 launch. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. It's a very good concept. Very good concept. I think some people are doing it for the wrong reasons, though. And they're not looking at the logic behind the sustainability of power stations for electric cars that require the same amount of electrical requirements as an entire small city. So, anyway, I'm gonna go grab my hot chocolate. I'll be back in just a minute. All right. Hot cocoa and a bowl of nuts. That is lunch if ever I've seen it right there. All right. Well, that's awesome if you're going to be able to do that. That's pretty sweet. I unfortunately just bought a car, so I'm probably not going to buy another one anytime soon, just because that's how my budget works. Alright, where was I? Kitchen. What do you suppose this green line is supposed to be for? Hmm. This does not need to be on electrical. Right? Reverse osmosis is just a filtering technique, and it's in the... It doesn't require a power supply at the tap, does it? We actually have one of those under our kitchen sink, but the previous owner, I guess, didn't like it, so they disconnected it. But yeah, there's no power supply required for this. Oh, whatever. Okay, I think I just wanted to make sure that I don't know why there's a 220 volt power right here. think it's in the wrong place. There's nothing here for that. Maybe it's for the double oven, but I'm pretty sure that's gas. Microwave and coffee maker right there. This needs to be 72 for the vent. I think this was all wrong. I don't think that TV is going to work there anymore. So, Kaduki, you're an electrical engineer. Here's a question for you. This system right here, Oh my goodness. The one that I'm dragging all over the place. What did I just do? Okay. So my understanding, based on what I have been told by other electrical engineers, is that in order to use a four-way switch, you essentially do a circuit the way you would do three-way switching, right? So you've got two three-way switches, and then you connect them all, and then you have one four-way switch off on the end. Is that correct? Or are these all supposed to be four-way switches? That doesn't need to be on the electrical either. I don't understand why they're putting water notes on the electrical drawing. That makes no sense whatsoever. On this computer, Revit is... This is a trick question. Hold on a second. Yes, this computer Revit is running on an SSD. And if you're really interested in that question, I have a really interesting spreadsheet for you. Workstation. There we go. So under 2016, I think. So here we go. I have a few benchmarks using the RFO benchmark tool. Oh, maybe it's under 2015. Where I have things labeled project files from same SSD as Revit, project files from same SSD as Revit, project files from platter drive, project files from platter drive. And if it's not labeled like this, then Revit is on a platter drive and not an SSD. So, let's see. And if you're not familiar with the RFO benchmark, the lower the number, the better in terms of scoring. Why can't I find anything? There you go. So, did you hear my question about three-way and four-way switches? Just curious. That was directed at the electrical engineer in the room. Oh, well, quick question for you then. So I've got, I'm just gonna highlight all this right here. Filter, check none, lines, electrical, detail items. I think that'll get me where I want. So I have a lighting system here. And you know, you've got switches on each end, which are three-way switches. And I was told that four-way switches, oh, it didn't show up there. Essentially what you do is you put a four-way switch on a three-way switch circuit, and that's how four-way switches work. But some people put four-way switches on all of those switches. Is there a correct way, or are both ways correct? Is there a more correct way? So essentially the question is, if you have switches on two ends of a lighting circuit, it's three-way switches. If you want a third switch, do all of them become four-way switches, or does only one of them need to be a four-way switch? Hotel Shakalar, what? Only one is fine. I can tout that I have now been verified by an electrical engineer from another country. I'm not... Oh, shackling. Is that what it's called? Now I'm going to get a bunch of Dutch pages. Or I'm going to get a bunch of Ethernet pages. No, let's... It's... It doesn't like that. I'll just take the yes answer. Be done with it. See, like here, this person put two four-way switches on there. I don't think that's right.
Makes sense.
There we go. I knew I'd figure it out eventually. I don't think the electricians here in the United States are smart enough to give it a name. I think we just call it a four-way switch. Something tells me that this light switch setup is not going to work. So, uh-oh. That one didn't come through for some reason. I don't know what that was supposed to say, but I don't think it was supposed to say nothing. Be right back. All right. You're such a sweet dog, you know that? Or did you come up here because I've got peanuts? There it is, right there. You get it? Still didn't show up. I don't know what you're trying to send, but that's weird. Does what you're trying to send contain the word AutoCAD? Oh, maybe. There's no good place to put the switch. I'm gonna have to flip the way that this door opens. That's a little annoying. It's not gonna work down here. Piece of crap. Oh. Yeah, that's exactly it. Right there. Except in this case, isn't C is the four-way switch here, isn't it? So it's in the middle of the circuit, not on the end, which is the way I just like to draw it. I know it's... Yeah. What you said, man. Appreciate it. That's true. A good electrician's going to do it right. So, I've been here in the office for about 3 hours. Gave my dog a shower down in the shower downstairs. And we've got like 30 minutes before we leave. And she finally decided to come settle down and sleep in her little couch here under the desk. You say hi, Pepper? Pepper. Hey. You can say hi. Oh, you didn't have to get up. Here, sit. 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 Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Take it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It's in your bed. It's in your bed. Look, it's in there. Fun times. It's nice having your own office so you can bring your dog up here. Go lay down. Go lay down. You were fine in there. Go lay down. There's nothing else in there for you. Go lay down. I'm not sure why we need 4 switches in this bathroom. Seems a little excessive. Lights, shower, fan. Personally, I like to put the shower and the fan on the same circuit, so that when the shower light is on, the fan light is on, or the fan is running. That's what I thought. These are supposed to be a little bit lower down. Yeah, about where I show them right there. Psst. Hey, get out of there. Go lay down. Go lay down. Now she thinks she's getting all the peanuts. Yeah, it's out of the shower. See, the switch to the light So the shower light's up here, out of the way. But what I was saying is I like to, if there's a fan in the same area as the shower, I like the fan being on the same circuit. That way the fan is running and it's getting the moisture out of the room while the light is on. Yeah, you know, I like that too. Do you know a product that does that? Because I haven't really done a lot of research into it, but that is my preference as well. And I just haven't found a switch that has a 5-minute timer automatically set after the switch is off. Oh, so after the fan loses power from the switch, it'll turn off 5 minutes. It has its own timer built in. I don't know if this is going to work either. To put a TV right there. I don't think that switch placement's going to work either. Or any of those.
Go online. Discover free Social Security alert. Will alert you. Social Security number is found on any one of thousands of risk websites. Learn more at discover.com/free alert.
Well, I really thought I was going to finish this up today, but this is taking longer than I expected. Piece of crap. with his pocket door. That's not gonna work. And take care. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you keeping me company today. All right. I think that's going to be it for me for today. I gotta get out of here. Electrical plan. Garage is left. And I didn't even get to cleaning. Might have to come back later tonight and clean. Ugh. Too much to do. This is the most useless thing. It's supposed to show me my order status. Oh well. Alright, well, while that's saving, I'm going to be done. And appreciate you stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend, and I will see you